Welcome to the video lecture series on JSP programming. In JSP, we will be learning about the term called as scriptlets, and then we will learn about the term called as expressions. Then we will go for the concept called as declaration tags. So we will be focusing on these three topics today. So first I will just explain about scriptlets. So for that I have a project called as JSP examples. In that I have a file called as home.html. So I want to make a communication between my HTML and my JSP. So I just establish a form tag, form method equal to post and action. I just write the JSP page as, say for example, find.jsp. So I have a file called as find.jsp. So as soon as I press the submit button, it should actually go to the JSP page. So input type is equal to text, input type equal to submit, then I just give value equal to submit. Okay, so now the HTML file is ready now. In this case, now what you have to do, so we have to generate a find.jsp and that JSP file should be there. So just right click it, go to new and go and create a JSP file. So just name this file as find.jsp. So because we want to communicate with this file from HTML. Okay, so it actually starts with the page directive. So at the moment it is not needed. So you can just take care of this. Now what I want to do, I want to just make a welcome message, that is welcome to JSP file. Okay, so the beauty of JSP is you can write a Java code in between HTML. Whereas servlets, in Java code you will be writing HTML. In JSP actually you will be doing the vice versa. In HTML you will be writing the Java code. So to write a Java code, I should use this delimiter. So this delimiter is called as the scriptlet here. Okay, so this is called as scriptlet. Okay, whenever I use a tag like this is called as a scriptlet. So I'm going to write Java code in between. So above this you can have any tag here. Say for example I have h1 here, and this is not getting connected to this code. So h1, I close this h1. So in between just I'm writing a Java code here. Just I want to print so welcome to JSP programming. That's it. Okay, so I have now this JSP code can be extended to any length. So you can I can have a second line here. I can just have initialization like this, integer a equal to 10, and can put semicolon. So you can put anything here in scriptlets. So if you want to write a Java code, then you have to write the Java code in between the scriptlets. So these two delimiters, if you are using these delimiters to write the Java code, then this is called as scriptlets here. So now we will verify whether it is running properly. So I will go to home.html. When I go to home.html, I will try to run this. So save as, now this should run it properly. Now as soon as I press my submit button, it should actually go. Now you are in the URL called as home.html. When I press it, it should, yes, it's going to the file called as welcome to JSP programming. So it goes to find.jsp. So this is called as a scriptlet here. Okay. Now the next one is we will be having that we want to pass some data from HTML to JSP. Okay, so how to pass it? Now see here. So input type equal to text, and I have a name called as say for example s name is called as the name of the text box. So I want to give something here, and then I have to collect that value in my JSP file. So the name of the text box is s name. So I just go to find.jsp here. So in find.jsp, so I just write the content here. So string, so whatever you are passing, the value is actually assumed as string here. So request dot get parameter, and the name is actually called as s name. S name is nothing but the name of the text box. So whatever I give here is called as the name of the text box. So it will be collected and it will be stored in this variable called as name. So I want to just print the message here. So out.println the data from HTML file. Yes, so I just write is, and I put concatenation operator, just what you are doing in Java, the same thing you can do in JSP also. Okay. Now this is about the scriptlet, so I will be able to get it now, and so this will be actually appearing in the same line. So you can just add a br tag. So to print in a new line, you can do like this. Now see here what happens. I run this file. When I run this file, save this. So this is called a scriptlets here. So I just have welcome. So welcome is the message which I pass in HTML when I press it. Now the data from HTML file is actually you are getting the answer called as welcome. Okay. So what we have seen so far is called as writing the scriptlets in JSP file. Now I will go and tell you what is meant by expressions here. So expressions is actually you can take up a value of a particular Java variable and you can print it. That's called as an expression here. Now see here, I can just take up the same thing, and in find.jsp you know that this is getting collected here. So I don't want to write inside the scriptlet. Listen carefully. So instead of that, just I put like this out. I can directly right click the output from HTML file is okay. Now I want to put a expression tag. Expression tag means simply I can put brackets like this, delimiter like this, and put an equal to. So I want to get the value here. The value is actually name. So simply use the name here. So if I use equal to name, no need to put a semicolon, nothing like that. Okay. So this is called as I'll just use it here. This is called as expression tag. Okay, this is called as expression tag. So this portion is called as expression tag. So you will be getting the same value as what you have got in the previous state, but you should not write the expression tag inside the scriptlet. Okay, but you should write it outside of the scriptlet here. So this is the scriptlet tag, and this portion is called a scriptlet tag. So I can just write here. This is called as starting this portion. Okay, so I can just write it here, start of scriptlet tag. Okay, and this is called as the end of the scriptlet tag, end of the scriptlet tag. Okay. So now I have written a scriptlet here. It starts here and it actually ends here. Now I use an expression tag. So expression tag should be written outside of the scriptlet, but you have to use equal to, no semicolon is permitted here. Now see here, you will get the same output. So home.html, when I run it, so I just pass CSE, Computer Science and Engineering. Now see here the value, actually I get the same output, but this time I am not using a scriptlet, but I am using an expression tag to place the value here. So this is the way of using an expression tag. Okay, so you know how to get the value from JSP HTML to JSP. Now the second part is we should know how to use a declaration tag. Okay, so the third part is we will just go to declaration tag here. So what is meant by declaration here? So a declaration tag is a special tag where you can declare the variables and functions. Okay, so difference is I can just write a content here. See in scriptlet tag you can declare variables. You can declare variables, but in declaration tag, you can declare variables and functions. In Java we call it as methods here. Okay, so we call it as methods. But in scriptlet tag, you can just declare the variables. You cannot declare functions here. So we will just go on concentrate on what is meant by declaration tag here. Now I just tell you what is meant by declaration tag. So I just write here declaration tag. Declaration tag. So whatever I'm going to do now is called as declaration tag. So to write a declaration tag, I should use this delimiter of JSP, and I put a exclamation mark. So this is called as declaration. So I can declare age equal to 20. Okay, so this is a variable. I have used it. It should be integer. Okay, it is integer. Age is 20 here, so I declare a variable here, and I can just use it outside of it. Okay, I can even print it. If I want to print it inside, then I can use out.println. So I can use out.println the value age is, put semicolon, then I use plus age here. Okay, so I have used a declaration tag here. Okay, so I will do one thing, just I will go here and take this out. So I can just write it. I use an expression tag, the age is, so to write an age you can just use age here, that's it. Okay, so this is called as an expression tag, and this is called as a declaration tag. Okay, so when I use an exclamation mark inside the delimiter, then that is called as a declaration tag. So this portion is called as a declaration tag. Okay, this is called as expression tag. Now see here, I just save this and I pass the data from this place to this place. So you should get actually these values. Now I pass value called as IT. Okay, so IT is passed. So definitely I should also get the age here. The age is actually 20. Okay, so what we have done so far is we know how to write scriptlets, we know the way of using expression tag, and how to use a declaration tag. So what I have done so far is actually I have used only variables, but how to use functions, in declaration tag. Now listen carefully. So to use functions here, we will use something like this. Listen carefully. So I can just write a public void, so I just use public string. Okay, public string. So I want to pass a data, public string message. Okay, function name is called as message here. So I just going to write a function here, so return welcome to functions. Okay, so this is called as a Java method, and it is going to return a value called as string data type, that is going to return a value called as return to welcome to functions. Okay, so I just write another variable here, just use a br here, and I can just call the functions here. Say for example the value from function is, I can use now the same exclamation mark is equal to name of the function is message. That's it. What happens, this is called as an expression tag. It calls the function called as message, and it will be returning a value called as welcome to functions. So I will be getting the value now. See here what happens. Now I run this file. So when I run this file here, so I just use mechanical and submit it. So the value from the function is welcome to function. So this is the value which is actually returned from the function. Okay, so what we have discussed so far is we know the way of using scriptlets, expression tags, as well as declaration tags. Okay, so thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.